against certifying the results of the election, pushing us closer towards civil war. And even some, like Robert Reich, say it's already happening. In our next story, Governor Abbott of Texas will send hundreds of buses of illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C. And our last segment, Netflix is under fire by woke activists after Ricky Gervais mocked trans people in his latest comedy special. But Netflix just fired a bunch of their diversity staff, so I think Netflix realized get woke, go broke, and they're reversing course. If you like the show, give us a good review, leave us 5 stars, and share the show with your friends. Now, let's get into that first story. Democrats have won a federal legal battle, granting them the right to disqualify people they believe engaged in insurrection against this country. In breaking news from Kyle Cheney, a federal appeals court has ruled the 14th Amendment's bar on insurrectionists holding office may be applied to current and future political candidates. My friends, we are inching ever closer towards civil war, and I've been saying this for some time. We have an article from Robert Reich, Democrat guy, very prominent, albeit I think he's wrong, but he writes an article about how we're already in a second civil war.
They're just a qualified everybody but fucking establishment
Republicans. Break down what that really means. Now, I've said before, I think we're in it. I think we're in a civil war, 4th and 5th generational warfare, information warfare, manipulation tactics, but let's slow down. Let's say civil war means kinetic warfare, in which case we're not there. There's strife, as Stephen Marshall puts it, meaning people are being killed for political reasons, but we're not at the point where people are, forming state militias and governments to go against other states or the federal government. But I do believe we will eventually find ourselves in this position. Why? Well, there are many similarities between what's happening now and what happened in 1860 with the first Civil War. Let me lay it down for you. Democrats are trying to disqualify Madison Cawthorn, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, basically 147 Republicans they're trying to bar. This is a legal battle for them, but it doesn't mean anyone is being disqualified. Madison Cawthorn, who is the subject of this lawsuit, has already lost his primary, but they're not stopping there. They're saying, you know what, no. We don't care if he lost his primary. We're going to prevent him from being able to ever run for office again, simply because he spoke at a public rally that was permanent.
It was fraud. It was a fake election.
And maybe they'll lose. Maybe they will. I think it's likely they will. But what if they get a judge who's a Democrat who says, nah, that was all insurrection? What if they argue, if you voted not to certify the election results, that was insurrection? It's an interpretation a judge could make. And then what? Populist Republicans are just going to start being barred from holding office. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, anyone but fucking DeRhino. Anybody but a Mitt Romney and fucking Liz Cheney.
Turnout in the first 10 state primaries among Republicans was 60.9%, shattering records. The latest news out of
Get rid of these fucking Democrats. Get them out.
Even though the Democrats keep screaming, they were attempting to engage in voter suppression and did pass voter suppression laws. Quite the opposite. More people are engaged in early voting and voting in the primary. When the Democrats take political action to try and win these legal battles, that's it, man. Don't ignore the signs. Here's what I think could happen, and then I'll walk you through the news about where we're currently at, because we got people screaming, Liz Cheney, Trump is the most dangerous, ultra MAGA must be stopped. Let me give you my proposed scenario. It's speculative, and it's probably wrong, but I entertain the thought. Abortion being the principal moral issue.
Let the Democrats the fuck out before they kill us off.
It's very similar to the Civil War lines. So what happens? Republicans win the Senate, and they win the House. They then move to ban abortion federally. Talk to any pro-lifer, and they'll say, for the most part, yes, they would like to see abortion banned federally. You are seeing blue states and red states deviate further and further to the extremes of their position, meaning pro-lifers are like, we're going to ban it outright, period. Pro-choice, you even call it that, pro-abortion, they're saying no restrictions at all. This is causing or contributing to geographic hyperpolarization. You now have states completely at odds and already defying the federal government. One example is California saying we're a sanctuary state. Immigration laws not being upheld. Republicans win the Senate, win the House. They pass a bill. Joe Biden vetoes it. Never going to happen. Donald Trump says, the first thing I I'll do if I get elected is I'm going to pass that bill and we're going to ban abortion. If he does, and I think it's out there. I don't think it's extremely likely. I'm saying it's a possibility. You're going to see blue states saying no. Many
They're
people
trying to ban him from fucking running for
Robert
president.
Reich says we're drifting towards that. You need to understand the first civil war was started by peaceful divorce. And quickly after, when the federal government said we want our military capabilities upheld, war broke out. So even if we have a peaceful divorce, even if blue states say we no longer will listen, I'm going to show you the timeline, at least part of it, of the Civil War, so you can understand we are headed in a similar direction. Call it peaceful, whatever you want. Warfare begets conflict,
Democrats, dude.
begets separation, and then fighting. Let's read the news.
They're evil.
Before we get started, head
They
over
wanna
to
have a fucking
timcast.com and
dictatorship of
become a
fucking
member if
evil.
you want to support the work I do here, the work we do at
You
Timcast,
get
plus
it.
higher work journalists. As a member, you will get access to exclusive segments of the Timcast IRL podcast Monday through Thursday
Shut
at
up,
11
Timbo.
p.m. You will also...
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And if everybody shared this right now, we'd be bigger than CNN and MSNBC. So please consider sharing. Let's read the news. As I showed you from the tweet from Pal Cheney. Pal Cheney is the senior legal affairs reporter with Politico, with focus on January 6th, mentioning the federal appeals court has ruled that 14 Amendment's bar insurrectionists holding office may be applied to current and future political candidates. But the filing is here from Politico, and they say, because, let me make sure I actually, I have this.
Insurrection.
Here we go. They say, a few words about what we have not decided. We express no opinion about whether Representative Cawthorn in fact engaged in insurrection or rebellion or is otherwise qualified to serve in Congress. We likewise do not consider whether Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution reserves such determinations exclusively to the House of Representatives, or whether states may play a role in regulating ballot access based on constitutional qualifications under the time, place, and manner clause of Article 1, Section 4.
Well,
Nor do we reach Representative Cawthorn's due process and First Amendment claims. We hold only that the 1872 Amnesty Act does not categorically exempt all future rebels and insurrectionists from the political disabilities otherwise would be created by Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Judgment of the District Court is
Joe
therefore
Biden did not
reversed,
win the fucking
vacated,
election.
and remanded.
The election
There's a
was
lot in
rigged
there, but they're basically saying
through
previous
many
court's
ways.
ruling about the
Just
Amnesty
like the
Act
next
is
one's going to be
void. If
fucking
you
rigged. And the
engage in
next one.
insurrection after the
The
Civil
only people
War,
that are going to be
you
allowed to
can
fucking be in office
removed,
are either Democrats,
opening the door
establishment
to
Democrats,
many, many more.
neoliberals, and
This
establishment
is from
Republicans that
Jeffrey
side
Levin.
with those same
I don't know who
Democrats.
Jeffrey Levin
who
is,
are
but he's got
corporatist,
638,000
totalitarian.
followers, right? He's following 600,000
Come on.
people, so he probably only has actually like 30,000 followers. I digress.
At one point,
He says we need to
and
enforce
Americans
the 14th Amendment
that
to
vote for those
against
people
an
are
existential
for
threat to our democracy.
totalitarianism.
Now, I don't care about this individual or their following. I care about the Occupy Democrats meme that was posted. Quote, after the last Civil War, we passed the 14th Amendment, where Section 3 provides that insurrectionist officials shall be banned from future office. To prevent another Civil War, we must enforce Section 3, banning any official who participated in the January 6th insurrection.
It wasn't an
From Kristen
insurrection.
Snell, former New York Assistant Attorney General. All right, where are we at? John Bonifaz posted on May 16th. We just filed on behalf of Georgia
Maybe
voters
only
challenging
Democrats should be
Reverend's
allowed to vote. Is that what they're
eligibility.
saying?
Our petition for
What's the
appeal
point?
before
Let's
the Fulton
point
County
another
Superior
Democrat.
Court. The mandate of Section 3 of the 14th
You think
Amendment
Americans are
must
just
be
going to fucking
followed.
go for that? No, they're not.
And where does this bring us? The New York Times. The
Fuckers, fuck you.
147 Republicans who voted to overturn the election results. And this is what's being argued right now by many of these Democrats. That if you voted to overturn the election
I'm gonna
results,
fucking
you
register
engaged
Republicans.
in
Fuck them.
insurrection against this country. How long until they start bringing cudgel lawfare to these individuals to disqualify them? In fact, they already are. As you can see, you've got got Elise Stefanik, you've got Lauren Boebert. I'm fairly certain Marjorie Taylor Greene is in here somewhere. Obviously, you got Louis Gohmert. You have 147 people here. You got Josh Hawley. You've got senators. You've got congressmen and women. If they start to remove people from office or stop them from being able to run, this is not a functioning political system. It's not a democracy, nor is it a constitutional
That was the whole
republic.
point. They
This
fucking
is
made it
quite
happen.
literally just
They created that.
collapse.
It was
Democrats
the
can't
feds
win.
encouraged people to fucking
Republicans
break
have
into the
record
Capitol.
turnout.
Why do you think they did
They
all
know
this?
they can't win, and they refuse
They're
to
heading
give power.
towards a
So,
direction
lawfare.
of
I've mentioned this
totalitarianism.
before, that when you start using legal power to remove someone from office,
This isn't some gradual
despite
thing. This
what
is
the
all fucking
people might
thought out. And
actually
it's not.
want,
They're
you're
sock
gonna get a
puppets.
civil war.
They're
Go
gonna
back
do
to
what fucking Trudeau's
being
doing.
occupied Democrats.
Suspend elections forever.
They
Have the
want a
same
civil
fucking
war.
guy
They
there. This
genuinely
fucking dictatorship.
want a civil
Fucking
war. They accuse me of wanting one because protection
handbook.
is what the left does. No, I don't. I want the United States to stand tall against China, and I want to crush
Who do you think
the
behind it?
establishment
Joe
of
Biden worked for
politics
China.
and unify this country. Maybe that's not possible, but you better understand.
Fucking
You will not be
Democrats.
living
Fuck you, you scumbag.
in civil war.
Evil
The
fuckers.
reason why I say they want a civil war is that, look at this manipulation. They have to ban Republicans from running for office, otherwise we'll get a civil war. Are you joking?
Right. So what are you gonna do? Ban the voters too?
Popular politicians like Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you will get a civil war. If people feel that their views are not being represented, you will get a civil war.
What else is there?
If people feel that
And
their
those
rights
faggots are for
being
taking guns
crushed,
away. What are they
you
gonna do?
will
They're not
get a
fucking have the
civil war.
police do it for
Thus,
them and the military?
I feel
Guess
like
what?
it's inevitable. I'm not saying I'm
Guess
saying
who the, guess
if
the majority of the
they
military is still up there.
straight ahead, I can see there are many roads and paths we may end up taking. For all I
This is
know,
fascism.
months, Democrats
We're heading towards
see,
fascism. What's going on
the
there?
midterms have the Republicans made such resounding victory.
Chris Hedges. Oh, it's gonna come from the religious right. No, it's not.
Or left holding an empty bag, and everything simmers down. It's entirely possible. I'm saying if we do not course correct, we are seeing escalation across the board. Let me show you what comes next. Cal J says the January 6th Select Committee needs one last legal victory to access the RNC's internal files before next month's public hearings. Are you all insane? Yeah. Season. The Republican National Committee's paperwork, internal files. And then we'll see if the American people have confidence in our elections.
Huh.
Perhaps it doesn't matter. Perhaps
It's already
it
rigged.
does not matter.
It's rigged. Now you're gonna say it wasn't rigged, Tim Pool? Fuck out of here. Next thing you do, they're gonna outlaw the Second Amendment. And then they're gonna impose fucking.
Democrats
Huh.
beware. The primaries will tell a spike in GOP turnout. Here's why it's happening.
I'm registered for a fucking Republican
Florida
tomorrow.
Tuesday's primary elections has focused on the ongoing. There's a bigger story that pundits are missing. Strong turnout in Republican primaries portends an excellent year for the GOP. Pro-GOP patterns unmistakable. Turnout among Republicans in 10 states that held primaries so far is up substantially from the last comparable election. Meanwhile, turnout in
Forget about it. It's not gonna happen
contests is
here. Oh, look at
down
it.
in 5
You
of
even
those
got a
states,
Republican in Hawaii. It would be
up
fucking
only
establishment
marginally
douchebag.
in most others. In total,
Huh.
according to data compiled by political consultant John Kuvalon,
What a joke.
GOP turnout is up 32%, while Democratic turnout is down 3%. And they know it. Your woke, psychotic, cult nonsense has done this to you. Two things.
No,
Some
but
of
they
those
want it. That's
Republicans that
okay.
are now
They
voting,
think there's still a
increase those
chance they
numbers,
can impose it on
probably
other
used to be
people.
Democrats.
Can't do it through voting. You do
Some
it
of
through
those
fucking
Democrats who
fascism.
left probably left because of your woke,
Maybe we should have
psychotic
some
behavior.
tranny fucking pink-haired
Among
president.
other things, it's the economy.
Whoop,
The
fucking.
economy is bad. People are changing political parties.
Yeah, they're gonna make the
Now we're
economy better.
advancing
No, they're
towards
not.
something a bit more dramatic. NBC's Yamiche Alcindor, sorry for not pronouncing your name correctly, of Georgia's voter suppression law saying Republicans think, quote, these black people don't deserve the access to citizenship in the way that other Americans do, that they haven't worked for it, and they don't understand the weight of American democracy. They can't reflect. That's what they think. They think people think that's insane. I'm sorry. That is just categorically false. Talk to any Republican, not true. In fact, there are black conservatives who will tell you that's just insane. If that's the path they're taking, they will inflame tensions among the left with this race, psychotic woke nonsense, and they won't realize why it is they're losing.
Because they know they're going to lose. The only way they can try to win is by flooding the country with illegal aliens, which they think are going to automatically vote Democrat. By the way, you dumb motherfuckers, they come from a conservative culture.
But they said it was voter suppression across the board. Everybody.
First of all, they probably say, you know, American voting is a fucking con job. But I'll say I was going to do it so I can get what I need for my family. Because Democrats are going to find them jobs.
DHS fiasco. Dangers of disinformation industry. Basically saying they have a psychic wound that they can't reflect. He nods to a few of what he sees as rhetorical axes about Jankowicz herself. I think the objections to her were fastidiously factual, but he highlights the key point. Government officials are professional liars. Trusting them with disinformation boards is madness.
Who would? Who's the jack off that
They
would?
cannot reflect. They are going nuts. Liz Cheney, who's basically a Democrat, says
She's
Trump
not a
is
Democrat.
a threat the U.S. has never faced before and tells Americans to stand up to the
Oh
liars.
well,
and
Ron
protect the
DeSantis, what are you going to say about him? He's a fucking governor of Florida.
Any Republicans
They
wanna
love
speak
him
out
there.
now? A
I
law
love him
after Trump
there.
shares Civil War post.
Can't hear me. Why am I wearing this?
They blame Trump because he retruthed.
Luckily, I'm wearing the fucking mask so no one can hear me yelling.
Let's take a look at what Robert Reich has to say, a prominent Democrat strategist and personality. He says, the truth about America's second Civil War. Also, he wrote an article for The Guardian saying it's already happening, but here's what he writes. The Supreme Court's upcoming decision to reverse Roe v. Wade doesn't ban abortions. It leaves the issue to the states.
Jesus, fuck.
As a result, it will put another large brick in the growing wall separating blue and red America.
Taking forever.
Some say we're on the verge of a civil war, but that's not right. It won't be a formal secession, but a kind of benign separation analogous to unhappily married people who don't want to go through the trauma of a divorce.
That's complete bullshit. They're fucking cheating. That's all they do is cheat, cheat, cheat. Fail, fail, fail. Try to force their sick ass fucking culture on other people who don't want it. So they can. So then they just cheat, cheat, cheat. Fail, fail, fail on the fucking media. It's not gonna work.
Red zip codes are getting redder and blue zip codes lower. Of the nation's total 3,143 counties, the number of super landslide counties.
It don't work when motherfuckers are poor as shit and they can't find get fucking baby food. When they get fucking threatened with another lockdown from some other fucking manufactured goddamn virus from fucking Bill Gates and his friends in the World Economic Forum.
When I said, by censoring so many people and banning everybody, you will eventually foment parallel economies. And when you do, there's nothing tying either faction to each other. You know what's really
Good. I don't want to have nothing to do with them.
Shout
Really.
out to all my haters who are like, can we get one prediction from Tim Pool, right? Sure. There's one. You actually now have from Dan Bongino and many others a company called Parallel Economy that facilitates financial transactions for people who are concerned about censorship on the left. We at TimCast.com use Rumble because we don't want to be censored by big tech Silicon Valley.
Oh, now you. Not before you talk shit about Rumble. Before.
Once we are completely censored, we're not yet, then people are going to speak freely, they're going to build up, you're going to see more conversations, you're going to see more challenging, you're going to see an entrenching of these ideas,
How much fucking paint they put on this
and
bitch?
to cater to the inside. Already won. Now ask this. I make no money off the woke. I have no viewership from them, and I don't care
Alright,
about
shut
I
up.
don't care for
Did he
their
start
ideas.
talking about himself? Let's take a break.